Welcome to Science by PK. What if all insects disappeared overnight? Most people think of insects as pests, mosquitoes that bite, flies that buzz, ants that invade picnics. But if every insect on Earth vanished overnight, the consequences would be more devastating than anyone imagines. Within hours, the natural world would begin to collapse and humanity itself would find itself fighting for survival. The first thing and most immediate impact would be on plants. Insects are the primary pollinators about 80% of all flowering plants, including many crops. Without bees, butterflies, and beetles transferring pollen, fruits, vegetables, and grains would struggle to reproduce. Within one growing season, major crops like apples, almonds, berries, and even coffee could fail catastrophically. Supermarkets would empty out, prices would skyrocket, starvation would creep into even the richest nations. Animals would suffer too. Many birds, reptiles, amphibians, and small mammals depend directly on insects for food. Without the source, their populations would plummet, and the food chain could collapse. Birds that once filled forest and field with their songs would vanish. Frog, lizards, and other countless small predators would starve. Collapse would ripple upward toward the food chain, affecting larger predators like foxes, wolves, and even bears. Meanwhile, dead plant material would start piling up. Insects like beetles, termites, and ants are nature's cleanup crew. They break down dead wood, leaves, and animal waste, recycling nutrients back into the soil. Without them, decomposition would slow dramatically. Forest floors would be choked with dead matter. Nutrient cycles would grind to a halt, making it harder for new plants to grow and worsening the collapse of ecosystems everywhere. Pest control would be a nightmare. Ironically, while insects would be gone, many species that relies on them, like rodents, would explode in number. Without predatory insects to keep them in check, mice, rats could overrun cities and farmlands, spreading disease and devouring whatever food supplies remain. In human terms, the economical damage would be astronomical. Agriculture, worth trillions of dollars globally, will collapse. Entire industries depend on insect-pollinated crops. Coffee shops, food distributors, and even textile companies rely on cotton would fail. Jobs would vanish by the millions. Governments would scramble to develop artificial pollination systems, but no human technology could replicate the vast invisible work insects perform every second. In the long term, the world would look very different. Fields would turn barren, forests would become dry, dying landscapes, rivers, lakes, once rich with insect larvae and the creatures that feed on them, would go silent. Even if humans managed to survive in isolated pockets, the lush, vibrantly biodiversity that defines Earth would be gone, replaced by a dry, struggling planet. Insects may be small, but they are hidden gifts of life on Earth. They pollinate our food, nourish our animals, recycle our waste, and balance ecosystems. Without them, the foundations of nature would crumble almost instantly. Next time you hear a buzzing bee or see an ant carrying a crumble across the ground, remember, they are not just background noise. They are quiet workers holding the world together.